People who looked at death in the face, understood it completely, and said, "Nah, I got this." Then they didn't. These are the dumbest deaths in human history. Not accidents, not bad luck, just people making decisions so spectacularly stupid that you'll wonder how they survived long enough to die. Case 1. Franz Reichelt, the guy who tried to fly. Austria, 1912. This guy was a tailor. A tailor, not an engineer, not a physicist. A guy who sewed clothes for a living decided he was going to invent a parachute suit. Now, here's the thing. Parachutes already existed, so Franz didn't improve them or innovate. No, he just stitched together a bunch of fabric, tried it on, and thought, yeah, this looks right. The French authorities were like, maybe test this on a dummy first? But Franz was confident, too confident. He climbed the Eiffel Tower with his homemade fabric suit and jumped. Spoiler alert, fabric doesn't stop gravity. He fell 57 meters straight down and hit the ground with the velocity of a bag of wet cement. The parachute suit never even opened because, plot twist, he didn't actually understand how parachutes work. Case 2. The Explosion Enthusiast. Next up, William Henry Hollis, America, 1875. This man was obsessed with explosives, and when I say obsessed, I mean this dude walked around with dynamite in his pockets like it was a pack of gum. His friends told him, his family told him, random strangers probably told him, "William, maybe don't carry volatile explosives on your person every single day." But William was a free spirit. He was living. One day he's in town, and he reaches into his pocket for what he thinks is a cigar. Nope, it's a stick of dynamite, and he puts it in his mouth. Now, before the explosion, because yes, there was an explosion, he realized his mistake. For approximately 2 seconds, William Hollis was the most aware a man has ever been in human history. Then, boom! They found pieces of him 3 blocks away. 3 blocks. Case 3. The Snake Charmer. India, 1880s. Meet Jagdish the Fearless Patel. This guy was a snake charmer who went around claiming he could control any snake through mystical powers. He'd put on performances, charm snakes, look absolutely legendary. Except there's a tiny problem. Snake charming isn't real. Snakes aren't charmed by mysticism. They respond to vibrations and sight. They're basically angry tubes with attitude. Jagdish knew this. He knew this. But his ego was bigger than his survival instinct. So when a cobra showed up at his performance, a cobra, the most venomous snake in India, he decided to prove his powers were real by handling it barehanded. The snake didn't care about his mystique. It didn't understand his reputation. It just saw a hand in striking range and cobra gonna cobra. He died from the venom within 2 hours. His last words were reportedly, "But my powers." No, Jagdish, your powers were nonsense. Case 4. The Invisible Wall. 1990s Japan. Takeshi Yamamoto was a parkour enthusiast before parkour was even a name. He'd climb buildings, jump between rooftops, do ridiculous stunts that made his friends go, maybe don't. One day he's on the top of a 15-story building. He's looking down at the street, and he decides, I want to test something. I want to see if I can survive a jump from this height by landing perfectly on my feet. His friend literally said, "That's a terrible idea." Takeshi's response, "Nah, I've trained for this." No, Takeshi, humans cannot train to survive a 15-story fall. That's not how physics works. That's not how your legs work. Those are not load-bearing structures designed for that impact. He jumped, he fell, he hit the ground at terminal velocity. His training didn't matter. Physics won. Case 5. The Chemical Cocktail. Victorian England. A chemist named Humphrey Davy, actually a famous scientist, not some random, decides he's going to test the effects of every gas he discovers by inhaling it. Laughing gas? Inhaled. Nitrous oxide? Inhaled. Chlorine gas? Inhaled. Who does that? His peers were like, maybe wear a mask. His family was like, maybe stop. But Humphrey was in his own world. He genuinely believed he could push human limits through experimental self-experimentation. Then he finds a new gas. He's so excited about it that he just breathes it in. Full lungfuls, no hesitation. Turns out it was toxic, extremely toxic. His lungs filled with fluid. He couldn't breathe. He died gasping for air, probably thinking, well, I discovered something, except nobody cares because he's dead. The gas wasn't even important enough to name after him. Nobody remembers the discovery. They just remember, yeah, that's the guy who killed himself huffing mystery chemicals. Case 6. The Lion Whisperer. 1920s Africa. A hunter named Charles Underwood was famous for hunting lions, but he wasn't just good, he was cocky. He'd brag about his abilities, his reflexes, his hunting prowess. One day, he's tracking a lion through the savannah. His guides are telling him to wait for backup. Charles, this is a big one, let's be smart. Charles is not interested in being smart. He spots the lion. He's got his rifle. He's confident. He positions himself and takes a shot. He misses. Now, you'd think after missing your one chance to shoot a lion, you'd run. But Charles decided to charge the lion instead. He actually ran at it. A lion doesn't need much of an invitation. It charged back. In the time it took Charles to reload, the lion covered the distance, tackled him, and did what lions do best, be lions. His guides found his hat. That was pretty much it. Case 7. The Submarine Genius. Early 1900s, a man named John Philip Holland invents the submarine. Revolutionary, right? Game-changing technology. But Holland wasn't satisfied with just inventing it. He wanted to test it, personally, in the water, alone. His engineers begged him, Mr. Holland, we haven't finished safety protocols. Mr. Holland, we should test this with dummies first. Holland waved them off. He was getting old, and he wanted to experience his creation before he died. So he gets in this prototype submarine, seals the hatch, and submerges. Within minutes, something goes wrong. Maybe it's a leak. Maybe it's a faulty valve. Nobody knows exactly because Holland never came back up to tell us. They found the submarine days later on the ocean floor with his body inside. His revolutionary invention worked fine. The problem was his faith in his own engineering. Spoiler alert, sometimes things have bugs, especially on the first test run, especially when you're hundreds of feet underwater. Case 8. The Speed Racer. 1960s California. Drag racing was the new cool thing. Fast cars, faster thrills, fastest ways to die, apparently. Danny Murphy was famous for one thing. He never wore a seatbelt. His reasoning? It restricts movement. I need mobility. Everyone else, you need to not fly through the windshield. Danny didn't care. He was too good. His reflexes were too sharp. Seatbelts were for people who couldn't handle a car. One day, he's racing on a California highway, going 140 miles per hour. His competitor is right next to him. It's intense, it's thrilling, it's stupid. Danny leans over slightly to see if he can squeeze past. That tiny movement is all it takes. His front tire clips the other car, his vehicle spins, he's doing 140 miles per hour in an uncontrolled spin with no seatbelt. He went through the windshield, flew 50 feet, and landed on the highway. The car kept going without him. That's how you know it's bad. Case 9. The Food Critic. 1870s France. A critic named Augustus Pellegrini was famous for reviewing everything. He ate at every restaurant, tasted every dish, and was known for his adventurous palate. One day, he hears about a chef who claims to have created the most dangerous meal in the world. It's made with ingredients that are toxic. It's designed to push the boundaries of cooking. Augustus had to try it. He had to. His reputation was on the line. What if other critics went? What if he missed out? He went to the restaurant, he ate the dish. It was, indeed, toxic. The ingredients included mercury and arsenic in safe quantities. Except, and this is important, there's no safe quantity of arsenic. There's just dead slower versus dead faster. Augustus chose the faster option. He died within hours, probably still mentally writing his review. Dangerous, yes. Delicious, debatable. Would not recommend. 1 star. Case 10. The Gravity Denier. This one's more recent, 2010s. A bodybuilder named Marcus believed that gravity was overrated. He was that confident in his strength. He'd make videos about how his training made him immune to physics. My muscles are so strong that gravity can't affect me the way gravity affects normal people. His followers ate it up. One day, he decides to prove it by jumping off a parking garage. Not a tall one, just 4 stories, because even his delusion had limits. He's convinced that his landing technique will protect him. His followers are filming, he's hyped, he jumps. His muscles didn't negotiate with gravity. His strength didn't bend physics. He fell like everyone else falls, straight down, and landed like everyone else lands, badly. The video went viral, not because he survived, but because he didn't. His last words on camera were, "Here I go," before he plummeted. His confidence died on impact.
And that, folks, is our top 10 dumbest deaths in human history. 10 people who looked at danger, understood it completely, and said, "But what if I'm different?" The crazy part is, they're not alone. History is packed with people just like them. People who were so convinced of their own exceptionalism, they ignored every warning sign. And here's what really gets me. Most of them weren't stupid in the traditional sense. Franz Reichelt was creative. Humphrey Davy was brilliant. Charles Underwood was skilled. They just all shared one fatal flaw. And I do mean fatal. They confused confidence with competence. Confidence is thinking you can do something. Competence is actually being able to do it. These guys had the first without the second, and physics doesn't care about your self-esteem. So what's the lesson here? Is it don't jump off buildings? Yes. Is it don't carry dynamite in your pockets? Also yes. But the real lesson is listen when people tell you something's dangerous. They're probably right. And even if you think you're special, even if you know you're special, gravity is more special. Newton's laws don't negotiate. Physics is the one thing you can't bullshit your way through. Now I gotta ask, which one of these deaths was the dumbest to you? Drop it in the comments. Tell me which person made you go, how did they not see that coming? And if you're thinking, wait, I have a story about someone even dumber than these people, comment that too. I'm absolutely here for it. We'll probably make a part 2 because apparently human stupidity is infinite. If you like this video, smash that subscribe button. We post new videos every week. Also, hit the notification bell because you don't want to miss when we cover stuff like people who fought animals and lost, scientists who died testing their own inventions, and my personal favorite, criminals who were so bad at crime they basically arrested themselves.